The sun burned low over the endless desert, painting the sky in shades of fire and gold. The wind whispered across the dry land, carrying stories of survival, loss, and fate. Ethan Cole, a quiet cowboy with a past heavier than the saddle he rode, guided his horse through the rugged trails near the Apache lands. He wasn't looking for trouble, but trouble had a way of finding men like him. That's when he saw her. She stood near a dry riverbed, her silhouette sharp against the dying light. Strong. Unafraid. Her dark hair moved with the wind like a storm waiting to happen. She didn't step back as he approached. Lost? Ethan asked calmly. She smirked. Not lost. Just waiting. Her name was Ayanna. An Apache woman with eyes that carried both fire and sorrow. Ethan noticed something. She was searching the ground, carefully, almost desperately. "What are you looking for?" he asked. She hesitated, then laughed lightly, brushing it off. "A ring," she said. "Nothing important." But her eyes betrayed her. It was important. Ethan got down from his horse without another word and began searching too. Minutes passed. Then an hour. The sun dipped lower. Ayanna crossed her arms, watching him with amusement. "You cowboys always this stubborn?" "Only when something matters," he replied. She raised an eyebrow. "And this matters to you?" Ethan didn't answer. Finally, she sighed and shook her head. "It's gone. Lost to the desert." Then she said it, half joking, half teasing. "If you find it, I'll be yours." Ethan looked at her. Not laughing. Not smiling. Just, serious. Ayanna blinked, slightly caught off guard. "You heard me," she said quickly, masking the sudden tension. "But don't waste your time. No one finds anything out here." Ethan stood still for a moment, then turned away. "I will." And he rode off. Days passed. Then a week. The desert stayed silent. Ayanna returned often to the riverbed, though she told herself she didn't care. The ring was gone. The promise was a joke. And yet, a part of her waited. One evening, as the sky turned dark and cold winds rolled in, she heard hoofbeats. Her heart skipped. No. It couldn't be. But it was. Ethan. Dust-covered. Tired. Eyes burning with something deeper than determination. He stepped down slowly. Walked toward her. Said nothing. Then, opened his hand. There it was. The ring. Ayanna froze. Her breath caught in her chest. "No," she whispered. Her fingers trembled as she took it. This isn't possible." "I told you," Ethan said quietly. "I'd find it." She looked up at him. Shock turned into something else. Something deeper. Something dangerous. "You don't even know what this ring means," she said. "Then tell me." She hesitated. Then whispered. "It belonged to my mother, before she died." Silence fell between them. Heavy. Real. And suddenly, that playful promise didn't feel like a joke anymore. Ayanna looked at him again. Her voice softer now. "You remember what I said?" Ethan nodded. "I do." Her heart pounded. She hadn't expected this. Hadn't planned for this. And yet, fate had spoken. The desert had chosen, the night air grew colder, but neither of them moved. Ayanna held the ring tightly, as if afraid it might disappear again. "You shouldn't have done this," she said softly. Ethan frowned. "Why?" "Because now, things are different." He stepped closer. "Then tell me how." Her eyes met his, and for the first time, her strength cracked just enough to reveal vulnerability. "In my tribe," she said, "a ring like this, is not just jewelry. Ethan listened carefully. It represents a bond. A promise. A life shared. The weight of her words settled between them. And you said, he reminded her. She nodded slowly. I said I'd be yours. Silence again. But this time, it wasn't uncertain. It was charged. Real. I don't take promises lightly, Ethan said. Neither do I. Ayanna turned away, conflicted. You don't understand what this means for me. For my people. Then help me understand. She looked back at him. Studied his face. He wasn't like other men she had met, greedy, loud, careless. He was steady. Honest. And somehow, he had done the impossible. You searched for days, she said. Why? Ethan took a breath. Because I saw the way you looked when you lost it. Her expression softened. That wasn't nothing important. Ayanna felt her defenses slipping. And what if I say I can't keep that promise, she asked quietly. Ethan nodded slowly. Then you don't. No anger. No pressure. Just respect. And somehow, that made it harder. You just walk away, she asked. If that's what you want. She stared at him. Trying to understand him. Trying to understand her own heart. The wind picked up, swirling dust around them. And in that moment, Ayanna realized something terrifying. She didn't want him to walk away. You're a strange man, Ethan Cole. I've been called worse. She smiled faintly. Then stepped closer. Very close. You crossed the desert for me, she said. For a promise you didn't even know was real. I knew it was real to you. Her breath caught again. And this time. She didn't look away. Slowly, she took his hand. Placed the ring in his palm. Then you decide, she said. Ethan looked down at it. Then back at her. You're sure? She nodded. I don't want a promise made from a joke. I want one made from truth. The desert fell silent. Even the wind seemed to pause. Ethan closed his hand around the ring. Then gently, took her hand again. If I put this back on you, he said, voice low, steady, it won't be a joke. Ayanna's heart raced. I know. And I won't leave. I know. And I'll fight for you, no matter what comes. Her eyes glistened. I know. That was enough. Ethan slid the ring back onto her finger. And in that moment, a promise became something far greater. Not forced. Not accidental. But chosen. Far away, thunder rumbled over the horizon. Trouble was coming. The world they lived in would not make this easy. But neither of them stepped back. Because some bonds are stronger than fear. Stronger than the past. Stronger than the desert itself.